see right now, without LeBron, Lakers are struggling.
Let me tell you about a team I hate, all right? I know the Dallas Cowboys fan is here, so I had to make sure he knew how much I hate this team.
I'm ready.
I've often said that the people who run baseball, they try very hard to ruin it.
I'm from Brooklyn. I don't have a problem saying it to his face. Oh, from Brooklyn. Hey, guess any.
This is a presentation of Northeast Streaming Sports.
What's up, everybody? It's another episode of Coast to Coast. I am your host, Pags. We got Bo in the middle, StatGuy on the other side. Jay should be back here momentarily. Oh.
Really? All four to start the show. Here we go.
How about that? Look at that. We got a foursome going here. I don't know how well we golf, but
that sounds so bad on so many different levels. I don't even know what context we're talking about foursomes, but what a time to be alive. That's all I got to say. Bo, you look pretty good. Did you get a haircut over the weekend? You look a little less hairy.
Yeah. It, knocked all the fuzz off a little bit, and definitely the stuff up top got a little thinner.
A lot thinner, but that's okay, man. Any thinner, you'd be Pags on the side with that mohawk down the center.
Yeah, it's funny. It's a little thin in the middle, so the mohawk doesn't work quite as well. But this is my official audition for Sports Center. Nice. Hey, and Sports Center will be good to have you. Let me ask you guys. Can I ask you guys a question? And this comes from one of my old first sergeant. He's living with me right now while he's looking for a home to buy. And he brought up something to me today, and I thought it was pretty thought-provoking, and I really want to get you guys' weigh in on this, and what y'all thought about it. I did a little research. So the electronic communication devices in the NFL helmets came to be in 1994. Montana retired from football in 1995, and Brady didn't get his first Super Bowl until 2002. And if you look at those stats, it was really more defensive-related, not so much him. With the three first turnovers and things of that nature. So let me ask you guys a question: If the helmet communications would have been invented right when Montana came into the sport, and let's just say the roughing, the same passer protections were in place for him as they were for Brady and so forth. Do you think that do you think we would still think that Brady's the GOAT, or would Montana actually have a case for that? And I ask you that because I looked up at Montana, and Montana has 31 fourth quarter comebacks, and he's pretty much been I think he's 11 years in NFL, and he was pretty much in the NFL playoffs every single year. My question is Brady really the GOAT, or could it have been Montana had he had the same devices that Brady had? So, there's a few levels to your question there. One of them is, Brady has multiple more rings, right? So to make a parallel for that, right? Brady has all of the stats because of the longevity of his career, right? Now, we still look at Michael Jordan as the GOAT, or most people do, right? Even though LeBron has all the stats. Now, had he won all those rings, we'd have a very different conversation.
But that's not true, and I'm going to tell you why. I agree with pretty much the majority of everything you said, with the exception of that one statement, because we all know that correct me if I'm wrong, I think it was Elgin Baylor, the guy that played for the Celtics. Help me out here. That had like 11 rings.
No, see that's different.
What I'm talking about, and I don't know why my brain's drawing a blank on that. But you know what I'm talking about.
Bill Russell doesn't own all the rings.
Thanks, Bill Russell. I apologize. So he had 11. But he had 11 rings though. But we don't mention him in the GOAT conversation. So
there's a distinct difference between that, because he was half the time he wasn't even the best player on his own team. Let alone
that's true. That's true.
So,
but again, I think the point I'm making and what you had just stated was that the rings really matter. Because it is a team sport. It's not like we're playing tennis or golf where it really falls all on you.
But the thing is it's not like Bill Russell owned all the rest of the stats too, because he doesn't.
Yeah, but you can stat pad too. We all know about stat padding, right?
It's
Come on, we all know that.
Leading your stats is a longevity thing, right? Yeah. Getting the rings is a definite portion of it. If Montana had more rings and also didn't have any losses, right? Because that's some of that. Then yeah, most people would still consider Montana the guy.
Remember, he only did 11 seasons. How many seasons did Brady do? I mean, Brady went what, 20? So he's like 9 more seasons on him.
No, exactly.
But that's a lot to take into consideration. I think we thought we get this GOAT so much. It's easier to get this GOAT label now than what it should be. I think we go around this GOAT label so quickly because somebody has rings or whatever, but we don't look at all the intricacies behind it. The advancement in technology that they have now, the advancement in supplement they have now, the advancement in play calling they have now, just all these things that have evolved. Right?
The helmet communication isn't a huge part of it. I would give you the inability to hit a quarterback anymore would probably have a guy like Dan Marino win a couple.
But you got to admit, though, it does give him an edge. It gave him a slight edge because you can't tell me that coordinator's not saying, "Hey, look over left, the guy's open." You can't tell me he's not giving him cues.
You don't have communication when the play's going.
Okay, and that's okay. So that was a question I had because
you don't even have communication 15 seconds before the play clock is over. That communication ends 15 seconds before the play clock's over.
Yeah.
Okay.
But who is turning it off? So, for instance, if you're in the hurry up, you have 40 seconds. You have 25 seconds to communicate. If you only take 10 seconds to get up to the line and hike the ball, do you have 15 seconds into the play where they're still talking to you, or do they turn off the communication at that point?
They turn it off as the ball snapped.
Yeah, and let me add to what Pags is saying. Let me caveat to what Pags is saying because I really believe that. How many controversies has Brady been involved in? How many controversies has the Patriots organization been involved in this tenure? Y'all talk about the Astros and trash cans, but how much crap do we take away from Tom Brady and don't give him the same crap? I mean, if I was Jose Altuve, I'd be like, "Yo, bro, okay, you got me on the trash can thing. Okay, I'll give you that one. But have you got me on anything? No. How many deflate gates and spy gates?
Hold on, you got me on the don't take my shirt off because I got the thing right here. I don't want to get electrocuted because you got remember that? You remember that? That was that really did happen, right? I remember that happening.
I could throw that in there without Pags saying something. I knew I couldn't do it. But Pags, but I think you understand where I'm coming from. Okay, yeah, how Dubé did wrong. But you can't tell me that Brady hasn't done wrong as well, probably even more so, because how many more controversies had the Patriots been in than what the Astros were in? Honestly.
Yeah, nobody's arguing that.
I mean, nobody's done. Let me ask you this. Can anybody here on this table tell me that Montana was ever involved in a controversy on the NFL playing field? There's nothing surrounding this guy. His reign in NFL is pure. It's pure. But Brady's not pure.
That's not true. Joe Montana was calling out on lines and calling his wife and stuff like that.
Yeah, that's true.
Come on. I'm not talking about that craziness. Okay, if you want to go that direction, Pags, but come on. I mean, you can't tell me that this conversation doesn't deserve some merit because everybody's so up on Brady, but nobody really wants to dive really into it and see what all it really is about. And I wish they would do a documentary on that, like a real documentary on all of that.
See, I guess if you wanted to play a conspiracy theory on that, he was calling his wife. She was watching on TV. He's like, "What did you see in the defense over there on TV?"
Oh, come on. Like, yeah, right.
Yes, Jay is trying to defend cheating.
You know,
and what Robert's saying, I don't.
When I play Monopoly, I like to be the bank because every once in a while, when nobody's looking, I like to take a couple of $500 bills and put it in.
I bet you do, Panama Red. Somebody's got to keep that, beautiful mohawk colored and stuff, and that face colored, and the beautiful costume outfits you wear, and the Lear jets you take to whatever gala it is that Philly sports guy's going to play at. I mean, come on.
Yeah, people are like, how did you end up with so many properties?
I know, you know what I'm saying? He uses the bar above Dolan's, which, by the way, I still love that idea. Pags, I think that's like the greatest idea to have a bar below your house because it just makes everything so much more convenient. The only thing that would make that better is if you had an HEB attached to the bar and then you're above all of that because then you could do your one-stop shops the whole 9 yards. Oh, man, that'd be perfect.
I was looking about setting up a pole so I could just slide down the pole like a fireman.
I thought about
Be inside
that.
the bar,
So you can pay off your
I would
tab.
I would also then close off the floor, and I would use that pole and act as a little bit of a gentleman's club up here.
Yeah, I was going to
And
say. I
let's
thought
be
it was gonna
honest,
pay off
if you're the owner of said apartment, I don't think I would disagree with that. I'd be like, matter of fact, not only am I going to disagree with it, I'm going to use that as one of the characteristics of why you should get this apartment if Pags was to ever vacate and go to the mansion, which we all know he richly deserves. You're going to see this guy. Hey, look, if you want a bar at your ready convenience, I'm just saying the pole is to me it's an added feature. It's not a detraction. I'm just saying.
Okay.
Bo, would you agree with that? I think you would.
Well, I mean, I just like to have a pole here for whoever wants to dance on it.
Well,
As long
that
as
too.
it's not huge.
Hey, it can have multiple
just bring
reasons.
in the
You can use
dollars.
multiple reasons for that thing. Yeah.
So,
Bo can't answer that question because he's married and he knows his wife would be extremely upset.
I mean, this got weird in a hurry. I don't know.
They get weird in a hurry. I'm sorry.
We're 11 minutes in, and it got way off track.
Hey, I'm sorry. I did kind of come into this conversation, guns a blazing, but it was something that he brought up, and I really thought about that. And I was like, there is some merit to that conversation of whether Brady is really the GOAT or not. I mean, a lot of people are going to tell you yes, but I think there's some cracks in that, and I don't know that I fully get behind that.
I don't. As much as I hate Tom Brady, he is the GOAT because you look at what he did when he left New England, went to a whole new system and acted like he was in that system for years. And where is New England? Where has New England been since he's left?
No, I get all that. And I don't think it's about what Brady left. It's about the advancements that were made in his position since Montana left the game in '95. And you all know that the game ain't exactly the same since it was in 1994 either. The game has immensely changed in a lot of different directions, and a lot of it favors the quarterback.
Well, the offense in general, for sure.
Like, you know what I'm saying? And that's where I'm coming from. And in truthfulness, I get your conversation too. I mean, because the GOAT now could be the GOAT different from now because the game changes, it evolves, it does so much things. So it's really hard to pinpoint. And that's another thing I have. It's hard to pinpoint the GOAT of anything when the game is consistently changing. In an NBA, NFL, Major League Baseball stays kind of the same, so you could probably make that comparison. But NFL and NBA, the game has changed so much that how can you really say who is really the GOAT and who's not the GOAT? Because the rules that you're playing under aren't the same.
Yeah, I mean, you can. It's easier to make the argument that somebody is the best in their era than it is the greatest ever.
I still got to go back and watch that roast. I heard that roast was crazy.
Yeah, it's funny. I'm reading one of the news stories that had this, that Edelman said specifically that the tension in the room between Coach Belichick and Kraft could cut effing glass.
There is no doubt.
Lord.
It was no joke.
I mean,
It was very awkward whenever
Kevin Hart made it even weirder because he made them both come to the podium and take a shot together.
Yeah. Well, you know what? That's the way to do that, actually. But it was funny because Edelman's like trying to tell Belichick, like, hey, coach, 5-0, 5-0. And of course, Belichick has no idea what that means. So, and then, and then he's like, oh, shit, this is going to be some fireworks.
Between Belichick, Kraft, and Brady, did any of those three guys really want to be at that particular event? I mean, you had to think
Brady's
that was
the one that set it up.
Brady did because Brady did you see the interview today?
Okay, and again, I'm still finding out things about this. I just heard it was a roast.
Brady said, ask any divorced male if they could go to a roast, get paid $25 million for comedians to kick the crap out of his wife. Tell me which married man wouldn't do it.
I mean,
they didn't kick the shit out of his wife. They kicked the shit out of him.
$25 million.
They did take shots a little bit, but yeah. I mean, it was mostly on Brady, but yeah, I mean, it was it was a funny roast. There was some moments you're just like, whoa, man, this would never make it on network TV.
Yeah, well, that's what I heard. I heard there were some cringe-worthy roasts that came his way that was pretty raunchy.
For sure. I mean, the way the F-bombs were starting, like the first 2 minutes of it, you were already like, okay, network TV's out. Like,
well, the Aaron Hernandez joke from Edelman would have got it canceled on network TV.
Oh God, yeah.
I didn't even hear that, but
that one was great because he's talking to Gronk and he's like, oh yeah, Gronk was great. He's like, but we did set the bar pretty low. It's catch, block, don't murder. Or no, that was Brady's.
No, the one that Edelman said, I forgot the beginning of it, but the punchline was Aaron Hernandez was just hanging there.
Yes.
Oh, that's so bad. That's bad. Oh my God, that's bad. But I see the humor in it, but oh my Lord.
Yeah,
Rob Gronkowski was hilarious. Granted, he was drunk and high as a kite, but some of the stuff that he said was hilarious.
Yep.
I'm gonna have to go. I'm assuming this is y'all's generation. My generation was way back then, probably with Pags, but I'm assuming now on YouTube this roast should be available now if I want to go watch it. Correct? I mean, I'm assuming this is YouTube.
You'll be able to find clips on YouTube. You won't find the whole thing because it was broadcast on Netflix.
Yeah, that's all right. As long as I can find some clips just to get the idea of. That sounds crazy. I wish I would have seen that.
You probably know someone that has Netflix that'll let you log in.
Wait a minute. Wait. I have Netflix. So it's on Netflix.
Yeah.
Oh, shit. All right. Never mind.
Yeah, I don't have Netflix, but I don't care.
But you're never hardly home. You're hardly ever home. You're a gallivanting.
You're talking about I'm home right now.
Yeah, I know that, but I said you're hardly ever home. I guarantee you, within the week, you're traveling someplace else.
This is the 2 hours a day you're at home.
Yeah, I'm about to say that's about right. I guarantee at some point this week, Pags will be gallivanting.
They totally dogged the Eagles by saying they're a team who likes to take chances on players with no morals.
Ooh.
Who said that?
I mean,
who said that?
Damn, he said not afraid of Pags.
Well, that's fine. He don't have to be afraid of me. But who said it? I mean, because obviously, he must have got me confused with anybody who's a Cowboys fan.
Oh, see, there you go. I knew you had to turn it back to me. That's fine.
Or the Raiders.
That's perfectly fine.
Or the Raiders for that. I would bet that was probably either Keith or Mac.
Whatever it could be. Keith wouldn't do that, but Mac might.
Mac definitely would.
And Jack more likely. But
I think Mac would say it, and I think Jack would back him up because Mac being the Giants fan, I think that probably would be something he would say because he said he's not afraid of a Cowboys fan in that intro promo. So I could definitely see him saying that about Pags and the Eagles, and I think Jack would back him up for sure.
Yeah, but obviously they had to say it while I wasn't there because
of course
they are afraid.
Oh, you would never say it with Pags.
They know exactly where all the bread gets buttered on that station.
So you think that Mac only wants half the smoke and not the full smoke?
Well, like I said, I didn't even hear about it. So, I mean, I guess I'll find out on Sunday, maybe.
But he had to know that you were going to hear about it, so he wanted half the smoke and not the full smoke.
Yeah, well.
Yeah, maybe
you know who's getting a lot of smoke right now? You know who's getting a lot of smoke right now? Them Mariners. What was that? 11-1.
Yeah, they
11-1 yesterday.
Yeah.
How about the day before that? What was that? 6-3. They lost 2 in a row. Damn, these Mariners.
Who are they playing? Pags, who are they playing?
Twins.
The Minnesota Twins.
Oh, the Twins.
Yeah.
This is what happens when we give the reins of the division to the freaking Mariners. You go out there and let the Twins smoke your ass on the weakest division on that side of the table in the AL East. Come on. Or actually AL Central, whatever.
I think they're in second place.
Yeah, I was going to say the Twins are a good team.
They're 22-15.
Well, not in a good division.
They're better than the Rangers are.
Like that division. The Cleveland
better
Guardians
than Houston is. They did show something about Houston, though. They did show something about Houston. That Houston was 15 games under 500 before they started cheating in 2017, and actually came back to win this
time.
Yeah. Jay,
Right.
you can say Jay.
He's only got one damn ring. It's not my fault. You guys have sucked forever. I'm sorry. Okay, I am sorry, but it is what it is.
Jay, you can say the AL Central is a bad division, but it's actually the best division in baseball.
Nobody asked you.
The Guardians are 24-14. The Twins are 22-15. The Royals are 6 games over. The Tigers are above 500.
I don't even know why you're saying that. Jay is a Cowboys fan. They don't want to know about stats. Numbers
we prefer to pretend, okay?
That's right.
Pretending is so much better than reality. Leave it alone, okay? Damn. It's like me pretending you got a full hairline, okay? It's like me pretending I have a full hairline. It doesn't happen, okay?
I feel like on my soundboard here, I need the spot with Jim Carrey saying, "Fiction can be fun." And then I could just drop it every time you start talking.
Oh, damn. Well, and it is what it is. So we live where we live.
Except the hairline. That's a very real thing.
Yeah, I mean, that is reality, unfortunately. When you wake up tomorrow, you're still going to have the same hairline.
Yeah, that's right.
Hey,
unless it means you wake up, you see a few hairs on the pillow, and you're like, damn.
They did beat the Yankees yesterday.
First of all,
was
Robert,
them what pitches were coming,
Robert, Robert, when's the last time I've been relevant? Seriously, you get a little bit of a lead, and all of a sudden you think you're King freaking Kong. No, guy, settle down for a minute. Settle down. Jesus Christ. Talk about basement dwellers.
Well, the pitching has been settling down because they started throwing batting practice the last couple days.
And that is very true. That is very true.
Yeah, and last time I checked, my team is still the best team in Major League Baseball.
Yep, you're going to get that Goldschlager pizza at this rate.
Gold flakes on the pizza.
That's going to be so gross.
I don't want Goldschlager on there. You got to pick out the gold flakes individually out of the Goldschlager.
You know that's not how that's going to go down. It's going to be frozen, and then he's just going to like dump it on it, and then send it through the mail. That's going to be the
listen. All he's got to do is put it through. All he's got to do is put it through a coffee filter, and then let the coffee filter dry out. He can keep all the alcohol and the gold flakes. He can just put on there.
Ain't nobody trying to drink Goldschlager.
Hey, I don't care. I don't care what happens to the Goldschlager after the flakes are out.
He's actually just going to get some gold paint and do the crust.
I have some gold hairspray. He could try to do that.
There you go. Gross.
Pretty much every team. Yeah, and we beat all the teams that we are playing against in the AL too. So, yeah, doesn't matter. There, Robert, you can talk all you want. Your team stinks, and my team's the best team in baseball. End of story. End of
Man,
story.
he's going to have to marinate on that. You know, and the sad part about it is you're supposed to be repping our damn division. Come on. The Rangers did a great job, I thought of it. Astros did a great job of repping the
Rangers.
I don't care what the flag says.
The Rangers are 22-17. It's not like they're bad.
No,
and
they're not.
The M's are still over 500. What are you doing?
And remember, hey, this is the same division where the wild card came out of it and won the whole damn thing. So keep that in mind too, Robert. Just because you got the division for a little bit, don't mean you're going to have it long. And I haven't even looked at the standings.
Yeah, but you're 10 games out of the wild card. Like, what are you talking about?
Oh, no, but again, hey, look, everybody has to have a down year. Shit, okay, we're going back to the down year, but we all know how we came out of the down year last time, right? We came out swinging, had a good thing. The problem with the Astros is a lot of people try to do it. Right? No. You get the Yankees, you get the bigger market clubs. They can spend all the money and get all the free agents they want. The Astros, I'm not saying we're bottom dwellers in the spending department. 194 million. We're actually kind of, I think, right in the middle of the league when it comes to spending. But we develop a lot through our farm system, and obviously, in 17, we lost some draft picks. We also traded some draft picks and things like that. So I really think that Astros have got to. And I don't know there's a down. You can't go to 7 ALCS straight and not have a damn down year. At some point, everybody has a damn down year. It just happens. It's about but for me, what matters is what do you do in the down year that gets you back to where you were earlier. And I think this is what the A's haven't figured out, what the Angels haven't figured out. The Astros know we just got to build back to our depth chart again, and we got to build our draft picks back up. I think that's what they're going to have to do. There may be 3 years of rebuilding, but don't count this Astros team out. We may be down, but we are definitely never out. And I think y'all know that. Well, I think we've proven that.
Okay.
Robert, crappy ass. Hey, look, if the best part of your team is the highlights where they show the little pitchfork going down the trident, going down the damn dugout. Okay, great for you. If you need those gimmicks to make yourself feel better, great for you.
Like, just about every team has some form of a rally cap or some crap. So, I mean,
and again, I also want to point the fact of the matter is, if you got to sit there and keep going back to the cheating shit that happened in 17 as a comment as a rebuke to what I just told you, that tells me already that you're a loser. You're a loser. Come up with better shit.
It's less fun to say that you're one of the worst teams in baseball.
Of course, I get the laughter of it, but the problem is, it's been 4, 5, 6 years, whatever, and we're still. Come on, at some point it loses its hilarity, and it just makes you look bad. It makes you look bad. Find new material. Any comedian that comes out with the same crap as they were doing 3 years ago, they're not relevant anymore. They're irrelevant. So you are now the Pauly Shore of comedy, Robert. I want you to know that.
Well, I mean, if you wanted to have a spin on it, you won more games cheating in those playoffs than you guys have this season. That make you feel better?
Okay. Now that might be something a little bit more hilarious, and maybe Robert should take lessons from Bo. Bo, for 1995, can you hook Robert up? It only takes like maybe 6 sessions, I think, for him. He seems to be the guy that's quick on the uptake.
Oh man.
What a time to be alive. I was gonna sip on this for a little bit more.
Yeah, what are you drinking today?
Nothing. It's Gatorade. I was out there I had to cut the grass today, so I'm just replenishing my electrolytes. Don't ask me to spell that crap because I don't know how to. Electrolytes. I know, whatever.
That's right. It's what plants crave.
So, anyways, did you guys hear? I don't know. Maybe StatGuy heard about this or not. There's something going around TikTok right now that if by chance an NHL playoff game, goes to 6th overtime or past the 6th overtime, in the 7th overtime, that there's new rules, and the 8th overtime has got even more new rules beyond that. And that it could be very awkward. That if a team goes to the 7th overtime, if two teams go, they institute the second puck rule.
Yep.
What?
Yeah. So I heard that. I heard that too.
That's amazing.
So if it goes to the 8th overtime, it goes to 15 men on the ice.
What?
Every circle gets a puck dropped on it. The 5 main circles, the front circle and the 2 in the zones, they all get it, and there's 5 pucks on the ice.
I hope a game goes to that, because that would be hilarious to watch.
Hey, just out of curiosity, hey, for those that don't follow, I guess, hockey as large as you do, Pags, you talk about the second puck rule. I'm assuming that means they put down 2 pucks on the ice. Is that what you're getting at? Is that what you're saying? And then at some point in the 8th, they put 5. You were saying they put 5 pucks on ice? Oh, damn.
Correct.
Interesting.
That would be fantastic.
Now, I'll be honest. I can't imagine that's a real thing. And then I heard that if it makes it past the 8th overtime, that the rules for the 9th overtime were written in 1917 and sealed in an envelope that's still sealed to this day.
Yeah, because that's a crazy amount of overtimes.
Well, there's never been a game that's gone past 6 overtimes.
Damn, even 6 overtimes is a long ass time though to be there.
Well, the Flyers made it to 5.
Wow.
5 overtimes against Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
And it went.
I can see how
7
y'all
minutes
could
into
go to
that.
overtime that many because y'all don't score as much as, let's say, football or basketball or whatever. So the lack of scoring or the difficulty in scoring, I can see how y'all could go that many overtime.
Goaltenders playing on their heads is kind of what does that.
Mm.
And it's like things like that where I remember that game. There was probably I know the Flyers goaltenders saved like 70 shots on goal in that game. 5 overtimes is a lot of shots. There's going to be a lot of shots. And the only reason why that the Flyers won that game, their captain at the time, Keith Primo, had a skate issue and couldn't go back out at the normal time. His first shift on the ice was 7 minutes into the 5th overtime. So he was a little bit more rested than everybody else and actually got the shot off that scored the goal that won the 5th overtime. And the Flyers, they celebrated for like 6 seconds and then fell asleep on the ice.
Yeah, no doubt.
Man, I tell you what, I would be exhausted. There ain't no doubt about it. Just watching hockey is exhausting.
I don't believe that there is the 2-puck rule. I don't believe that that's the case. I can't imagine that that's the case.
I don't know. It's the video game glitch. I'm in. Let's do this.
And then imagine having the 2 pucks on ice. Like, what are you going to do? You're going to put 2 on 3 and 3 on 2, like on both sides. Just pepper the goaltender, or maybe get it down to the other side. Have 2 pucks going on the goaltender at one time. You got one guy shoot the one side, one guy shoot the other side. Goaltender's got to be making saves like this.
Right.
That's.
And
Or how about 5 pucks on the ice at one time?
Oh, hell no.
Guys aside, there's only 23 guys on the bench, and one of them's a goalie.
Yep.
We got the Philippines in the house
Lord.
today.
Nice.
We're getting them from everywhere today.
Man, Philippines, that's a long way. Well, hey, good to see you guys. I've been out there to Subic Bay in Manila. Love your country. Love your San Miguel beer. Didn't like the poop afterwards. That 5 cents was crazy. But no, seriously, hey, it's a real thing. Man, you drink a lot of that San Miguel beer, yeah, you're gonna be on the toilet. But it's great beer though. The beer tastes good as hell. I'll be honest with you, and it's cheap.
Hold on. Is he sending me the? Oh yeah, they're just talking about. Yeah, I tell you, I'll tell you, Chris. I am not going to be talking about the AHL. I just not when there's still NHL hockey going on here. I know that the Phantoms are in it and they're fighting against the Hershey Bears, and it's like that's like a big rivalry and stuff like that. But I just cannot find it in my heart to talk anything AHL when the NHL is still going. And as much as I am unhappy to talk about it, Rangers are looking strong.
Yeah,
Rangers are looking real strong.
So, Pegs, that the overtime rules, that could be true. Because I am looking at an NHL history site right now, and they do have a red sealed envelope that has never been opened that was sealed in 1917.
Crazy.
Right.
And the rules in that are for 8th, 9th, and 10th overtime. Because no game has ever gone that long, so I would not be surprised if this 2-puck rule or other weird crap
so does it talk about the 6th or 7th?
It says it doesn't say anything about the 7th because there have been games that have gone 6. No game has gone 7, but obviously nothing has gone 8, 9, and 10. So it says the red envelope was written as purpose to end a game instead of having it go on and on forever. There are strange rules that nobody knows about because the envelope has been sealed and locked away since 1917. So we don't even know what the overtime rules would be when we get to the overtime.
So the rule might be no goalies.
It could be no goalies. No goalies are just straight 1v1 hockey. One guy attacking the defender, one guy attacking the goalie full ice.
Yeah, I don't know.
That could be fun.
I'd have to know what's in that. I'd have to know what's in there.
Or go into like the 8th overtime. You do an NHL skills competition for the overtime. Whoever tallies the most points wins.
So, but it doesn't say the 2-puck rule
Doesn't say that, no. But I mean, it could after you get that 8th overtime. It just says the first 7 overtimes are to be played out as normal. But then it says there's a red sealed envelope discussing overtimes 8, 9, 10, and beyond that has never been opened.
So no dual pucks. That's too
Yeah,
bad.
that could happen at number 8. Who knows?
Well, it could. I just mean, at 7, no dual puck, right?
Yeah, 8 would be the dual pucks. 9 would be the 5 pucks. 10 would be more pucks than people.
More pucks than people. All of a sudden, it's Zamboni Demo Derby, whichever one is still sleeping.
The commissioner does not even have access to the red envelope.
Crazy.
I am firmly believing that if I was an
doesn't say
NHL
who
person and that red envelope, it would say if you have made it to 8 overtimes, you send out your best boxer. I'm gonna send out our best boxer. I'm gonna let them do it out in the middle of the arena, and whoever is on the ground at the end of it all, they lost.
I mean, it's possible. I mean, because so many rules have changed since then, anyways. That envelope may be considered null and void, anyways.
Oh, depending on what's in it.
Yeah.
Yeah, could be.
So somebody needs to get to a damn 8 overtime so we can find out the damn red envelope.
Yeah. What they do is they probably line everybody up on the icing line, and you have to shoot the puck down the ice and get it in the net. And the one who has the most pucks in the net wins.
I mean, hey,
That's possible.
it's
That's
possible.
a possible thing.
I'd rather see 2 guys go at it versus the goalie. That way you can see if he can defend both people.
Chris, you're killing me on stuff that we ain't going to talk about. You're killing me on this stuff. I don't care about Toronto getting a WNBA team in 2026. Remind me about that in 2026. We're not talking about that. There are playoffs going on right now. How about Cleveland beating Boston yesterday?
Right?
How about that? When they didn't
Who
think
would've
that was
thought that?
possible.
In Boston.
Yeah.
Pigs, you know what they
Hey, Green runs deep. Must got a little bit of the brown on him.
Pegs, getting back to the NHL overtime quick, you know what they should do when you start getting to a 5th overtime? Have all the goalies on each team put on regular skates and have a position player play goalie.
Yeah, you can't do that. Somebody'd get really hurt.
Yeah.
Yeah, the truth of the matter is that then I wouldn't do that at all. I'd have 3 guys play goalie, stand in front of the net, give them an extra cup protector, and make sure that they don't let up any space, and then have the other guys just go up and just check the living hell out of everybody.
Yeah, I mean, those guys would lose that one tooth they have left.
Right.
And they're really holding on to that one tooth. I mean, that should have been a sport that mouth guard should have taken full advantage of, but didn't.
So the Knicks beating the Pacers, we could talk about that a little bit. Obviously, they play again today, and the Pacers sent the NBA 78 plays that they felt should have been called a foul that the refs did not call fouls on. Plays by the Knicks against the Pacers. Now, just 78 plays. That's like most of the shots that you got over 2 games now, by the way. It's like, let's just to talk about that first game, the Pacers went 48 of 93, and then the game before that, they went, if it shows it, there we go. 46 of 88. So 88 and 93 equal, what is it? 181, 281, 181. 181. How about that? Me doing some quick math there. 78 plays. That's a third of those plays they reported to the NBA that the refs are not doing their job properly.
Well, I mean, so taking that game 1, right, if you're looking at that, and they call a couple of interesting fouls at the end of the game, right, a couple of them on screens, right?
Yeah, the one fake screen or the moving pick, that was not a moving pick. He was there already.
So this is the thing that
And how do you not call DiVincenzo for flopping?
Exactly. But at the same time, there was 142 screens in that game, and the only 2 were in the closing seconds that you called fouls on. You mean to tell me that there were 140 clean screens the rest of the game? Like, I don't care if you're going to call stuff, but if you're going to call it, right? Like, call it all game. How are you going to, change the outcome of now, maybe it ends the same way. They don't land a shot, whatever. Right. But how are you going to call that with 12 seconds to go? Or 12 seconds to go when you haven't called anything on that play the entire game.
Right.
Like, I don't care if you're going to call it, had you called it the same way all day. But if you're going to go the last 12 seconds and you're like, oh, now it's a problem. It's like, yeah, you can't do that.
Exactly. I hear that.
But I just hate how inconsistent the foul calls are. Like, I don't care if you're going to call them, just call them the same way all day. And we make the same argument for the NFL. Like, it doesn't matter if you call them. If you're calling a tight game, awesome. Call it tight all day. Then the players can adapt to it. You can't let things go. We're going to let them play it out. And then 12 seconds to go on a game deciding possession. You're like, oh, now it's a problem. It's like, yeah. What is that?
It looks like there's a lot of money being made on the Knicks winning games.
Exactly. All of a sudden, that Vegas conspiracy is a real thing.
And how about see, while we're talking about conspiracies, figure right after I have my thing about the NFL not releasing the schedule,
Yep.
I guess they got the script together. They got the script already now. They got it figured out. And I got it leaked to me, the script.
Yeah.
Here's
Who's
the
winning?
script right here. It's right here. It says the Cowboys lose again.
I mean, did we even need a new script for that?
No, we didn't.
It says the Cowboys take last in the NFC East too, I believe, right?
Oh, shots fired.
I mean, another shot fired, but I mean, anybody can fire a
how to make
shot.
that
Is it
work
an accurate
with
shot?
Washington.
Hey, anybody can fire a shot, but if it's is it accurate? Probably not.
If you're not first, you're last.
Well, if you're not second, you're third. So go ahead. No big deal.
What does that even mean?
It doesn't mean anything. It just means you're not first or last. He did a Ricky Bobby quote.
So, anyways, the schedule does come out on the 15th, and we will be doing, on the 16th, we will be talking about it and letting everybody know exactly, how many losses the Cowboys will have. And I'm already figuring about nine losses on the Cowboys this year.
Yeah, I mean, they do have a pretty good tough schedule, so I would be in agreement with you. I don't think I would disagree with what you're saying. I mean, like I said, they lost 2 starters on the O-line. They had to replace them in the draft. We still don't know how they're going to pan out, coming out of the draft in the NFL.
You guys have a rookie coach. You guys are going to suck ass this year. You guys got no quarterback that's going to be able to play anything.
Oh,
come on now.
Robert.
Stop it, Robert. Stop it, Robert. I know that
drinking
the Kool-Aid, you got some of that funny stuff in there that has you hallucinating different things and all that other stuff. I think you got to stop with taking that stuff, man. It's just not good for your brain.
Yeah, Robert's definitely smoking some stuff. Hey, real quick. Hey, I wanted to ask you.
They can't even win the Super Bowl on Xbox. They can't even do it on Xbox.
Hey, that's just switch gears. I want to go back real quick. Before I know we got jumped into NFL, but I did want to ask you guys one question on the Cleveland and Boston series. As you know, it was reported on ESPN. I think it was the Pat McAfee show that they talked about. They didn't even think that Cleveland would get one win. What are you guys putting a percentage on the Cleveland in terms of being able to pull out this series? Obviously, I don't think they're not going to win it. But if you had to put a percentage on it, what would you put it at?
It'd be like a 20% type thing. because somebody could get
Okay.
hurt.
Okay.
Yeah, less than that. I got it. I mean, the fact that they out rebound. I mean, rebounds is the answer here. You have to rebound the ball to be able to win these games in the playoffs, and it's becoming ridiculously apparent in all of the games. When you look at all of the winners of every game, you see how big the disparity is in the rebounds, and that's how you see, like, they out rebounded Boston by 13, which doesn't sound like an awful lot, but it is. It is an awful lot of rebounds. You know what I mean? The second chance points, actually, Boston was better at, which surprises me. But the fact that they even won this game was a surprise to me.
Okay.
In Cleveland.
So, what are your thoughts on Mike Budenholzer getting the job for the Suns? Because it was kind of funny, because that's who the Phoenix Suns initially wanted last year, but yet they gave the job to Frank Vogel instead.
The Booty Holzer?
Yep,
Is that his name? Booty Holzer?
Budenholzer.
Oh, no, Budenholzer. I thought
yeah,
like Booty
Budenholzer,
Holzer,
yeah.
like a booty hole. I'm like,
Yes, Budenholzer.
I like how Pat gives us the subtle hint, and then he defines the subtle hint. I mean, you can't get any better than that.
This was the one that they were trying to get last year, and like all offseason long, it pretty much seemed like a done deal that he was going to Phoenix, and then all of a sudden, like Frank Vogel was hired as the Suns head coach. So that leads me to believe that either A, they couldn't come to terms on the years and the money of the contract, because now a year later they're getting the guy they tried to get last year anyways.
I don't know. I don't know if I'd ever hire a coach named Booty Hole.
I mean, he's got the fourth highest winning percentage in NBA history for a regular season record, so the guy knows what he's doing at least to get his team into the playoffs.
Yeah. Who's number 3 on that list? Glenn Rivers?
For regular season?
Yeah, Glenn Rivers probably on the top of that list.
Doc Rivers is number 7.
Because we already know how he is.
Yeah. Red Auerbach is number 3.
Got ya.
And then Popovich is number 2, and then obviously Phil Jackson is number 1 for a regular season winning percentage.
Okay, yay. I don't care about any of that. Not even a little bit. Not even a little bit. I hope Booty Hole does great.
He's just mad because the Sixers haven't won a championship, and the Bucks have, and that doesn't sit well with Pag.
Yeah, and the Bucks actually won their championship with Budenholzer.
With the Booty Hole.
Pag's had Doc Rivers for a long time.
Booty Hole won the championship.
With the Bucks, yep.
How about that?
And he got the Atlanta Hawks to the Eastern Conference Finals twice.
Well, and there you have it.
And he was Greg Popovich's lead assistant coach for 11 years before he got his first head coaching job.
Yeah,
I mean, it comes from a good tree. I mean, look at what was it, Ham that did over there with Vegas? I mean, she has some good players. Don't get it twisted, but I mean, she comes off the Popovich tree. Year 1 in the WNBA, wins a championship. I mean, the guy has a good lineage of people that come out from underneath him. So
your coach came from him too, Jay.
Yeah, O'Doc. Yeah. I mean, he's got a good lineage over there.
I didn't hear anything about Rice getting new charges, so, and it's not showing here.
So Rice is not getting new charges because the other part of that story, it actually came out this morning. Rice never even touched the photographer. So he was leaving the club. The photographer got in his face and started taking pictures of him. He basically yelled at the photographer and said, "Don't take pictures of me, this and that," and he left. And then the photographer tripped and fell, and they basically said that Rice pushed him.
Oh, wow.
So then they basically were going after Rice to arrest him for assault, but then they had 2 or 3 witnesses that actually came forth the other day and basically said Rice didn't do anything. But now they're just basically saying because Rice has the reputation that he has right now, he's just got to stop putting himself in these situations because everything's going to be a target on his back at this point.
Yeah, man. When you're a celebrity, you're already a target when you're a celebrity or a sports figure. So you got to figure everything you're doing is getting magnified. I mean, temper is not your best friend when you're making that kind of money, and you got to deal with people on that level. I mean, I don't know. The downships that come with $54 million, people don't understand.
Something.
I also don't understand. What are we doing here today?
I don't know. I thought.
Yeah, I have no idea what we're doing today either.
I ran out of all the good relatable stuff. Well, okay, so what do y'all think about Caitlin Clark's? I think, Bo, I may have talked to you about it or put it into a context or something to you guys. I know we talked about it yesterday, me and Logan did, but I'm curious to see what you guys think. You know, what do you think of Caitlin Clark's debut? What do you think her debut will be, and what do you think it's going to mean to her team in terms of playoff position? Year one.
I mean, she's already playing well in preseason. So, I mean,
Right.
I can't imagine that there's going to be a crazy drop off. It is kind of crazy that there is some sort of, it's like unfounded hate from former players headed towards
Right.
her. That's kind of crazy. But
Right.
yeah, I mean, she's going to have a good career. Obviously, there's probably going to be some ups and downs in the first season. But I mean, what her first preseason game, she, landed, I think it was like 5 threes.
So
or
she
something.
did her first preseason game. She went 5 of 13 at the 3-point line.
Yeah.
She got 16. She got 16 first half points. The problem I had with her was the second half, and it really, the knock on Caitlin is that her defense isn't exactly where it needs to be. That matches her offense. That's knock number one. Knock number two is, they lost that game to the Wings and by 3 points. I think it was 79-76. I think it was the final score. The Wings took it. She only scored 5 points that second half.
So
The
thing that's funny about that is the people that are making that comparison, they're like, oh, her defense is terrible, compared to her offense and stuff. I bet those people are also Stephen Curry fans who doesn't play defense at all, right?
Right.
So,
right. But,
Steph Curry is not a defensive player that you're a
her
candidate.
knock since college. That was a knock on her since college, that she's a great offensive presence, but it was that her defense wasn't all 100% there. That was a knock on her even coming out of college. But,
Yeah,
when you're
Steph
scoring the way
Curry.
she's scoring,
Look at Steph Curry. Launches threes from the logo, plays zero
Right.
defense. Absolute liability on defense.
absolutely. I agree.
So-
yeah.
So you can have a great career even if you're not a great defender.
Oh, I think she's going to have a great career. I don't think there's anybody suggesting she's not going to have a great career. I just think that, when you look at Indiana, the way it's constructed, you got 3 people that score the ball, and then the rest of the team scores 3 points or less. And so I think for Indiana, I don't expect them to do great things this season because they still have other things they got to address in order to make this. They needed somebody to come off the bench that could get more than 3 points or 4 points. Right. I mean, there's still some needs on that team that even Caitlin Clark, as good as she is, can't overcome.
If you're
so
getting the number 1 overall pick, you're not a good team. That doesn't matter what sport you're
Oh
in.
yeah, I agree. You're right. If you get the number 1 pick, you're not the best team. Yeah, I think there was a lot of people out there that were speculating that maybe Indiana could make a run with Caitlin. That I've heard from, that I've seen on different channels that has speculated that she can make a run.
So.
Not that she's going to win it, but that she could make a run. I don't even think she can make a run. I don't know if this team is good enough to make a run.
Caitlin Clark's going to be the unanimous Rookie of the Year. She's going to be in the top 2 in MVP.
Oh, yeah, she'll get the Rookie of the Year, just like Wemby got it. I think that's a foregone conclusion.
Yeah, she's gonna
I
be-
think
she's gonna be-
the only one that can really give her the only one that can give her a run for that money would be Angel Reese, and I don't think she's even.
Angel Reese is not even that good of a player.
No.
That's what I'm saying. I don't think she can do it.
No, but
So-
Caitlin Clark's going to average close to a triple-double her rookie year. She will be in the MVP.
Well, I tell you what, if you go for a preseason game, that's a far stretch because she only got 21, 3, and 2.
Okay,
so
look at her second.
I'm saying if that's the case, what you're saying, she's going to have to go from 3 rebounds and 2 assists to 10 and 10, and that's a big jump.
Did you look at her second preseason game?
I didn't see the second
Her
preseason.
second preseason game, she had 12, 8, and 8.
Again, but not 10 and 10. So I'm not gonna say she can't do it. I mean, she might be able to do it.
She will.
But if I was a betting man and I'm putting money on this, I'm not betting on that scenario. I'd probably bet the opposite of that she wouldn't get a triple-double.
What people don't talk about Caitlin Clark's game is she's obviously the greatest scorer that women basketball has ever seen, but she was also the best passer in the country last year. And that's not even a question.
But how many years did she play? How many years did she play again?
4.
Remind me?
Yeah,
okay.
4.
And a lot of them came out at 3, right? So she went a year longer than most of them that come out, right? I'm just trying to tell you that's a knock on her.
Women's basketball, most women stay 4 years.
That wasn't what I read. I mean, and maybe what I read was wrong. I don't know.
Because they make more money. Because they make more money in college than they do in the WNBA, so they choose to stay 4 years.
Well,
that hasn't always been the case, though. And you know that. That's only been
what you were reading is because she now has the all-time scoring for the NCAA men's and women's. And on the men's side, he played a year less.
Yeah.
That's where you're.
I think that's. You're right. I apologize. You're right. And it was Pete Maravich who played the year less. Okay.
Yeah, like Caitlin.
I knew one though. She had missed it, or she played 1 year longer than. So okay.
Yeah, Caitlin Clark this year averaged over 30 points, about 9 assists, and 8 rebounds per game her senior year of college. She's the best passer in the country. She's going to be a top 2 shooter in the WNBA, right there with Sabrina Ionescu. She's going to be probably a top 3 scorer in the WNBA this year, and she's going to get her rebounds. She's going to for sure average a double-double her rookie year, and she's going to come close to averaging a triple-double.
So that would be the leading scorer because let's be honest, there's only 3 really big scorers on that team. I mean,
I understand that, but she's going to be like the Luka.
She's going to get the rock a lot.
She's going to be like Luka Doncic. How Luka Doncic basically is a walking triple-double pretty much when he steps on the court. That's what she's.
I don't know. I'm not gonna say Luka's a walking triple double. If you want to say that about Jokic, then I would be on board with that.
You can't compare a guy that's
like Luka. I think Luka's a hell of a good player. There was a couple of times where I thought he should have got maybe even NBA personally.
Yeah,
but
you can't compare. You can't compare Jokic to Caitlin Clark because Jokic is 7 foot.
Oh, I understand that. I'm not comparing Jokic to Clark. I was comparing Jokic to Luka because you said Luka was a walking triple-double, and I don't think Luka's a walking triple-double. I think Jokic is a walking triple-double. I don't think Luka is.
I didn't realize when I logged in this morning that I really needed like an Irish coffee for this.
Jay, do you know what Luka Doncic averaged this year, Jay?
Please tell me.
34 points, 9.8 assists, 9.5 rebounds. That is basically a walking triple-double.
No, walking triple-double is when you actually have gotten to the 10 and 10.
Okay, yeah, but he's not going to get
No, because Jokic has done that. See,
yeah,
you want to move past that bullshit to get what you want to promote. And I'm not going to let you do a false promotion because you're saying a walking triple-double, but he hasn't got the walking triple-double because he hasn't got the triple-double.
Why are you
talking about?
Why are you mad at a false... You say it's your year
every
year.
I'm just trying to tell you, don't compare yourself to freaking Doncic because Doncic is a walking triple-double. Literally. A walking triple-double. Like, he literally gets triple-doubles. Luka doesn't do that. So don't say he's a walking triple-double. That's like throwing out there too quick and too easy.
Luka was second in the NBA in triple-doubles behind Jokic.
Second.
Okay.
Luka is a walking triple-double. But we don't – but you got the triple-double first. The dude's 9.5, 9.8. You ain't got there yet. You're not a walking triple-double.
But that's what the Caitlin Clark is gonna be similar to that. That's what she's gonna average her rookie year. Maybe not 33 points.
Hey, you know what is crazy though? We're at the top of the hour.
We are at the top of the hour. Before we go to the top of the hour, I will say this though. You are correct. I think that Luka and I think that Caitlin Clark are very similar. So I do agree with you on that.
Yeah, like she'll probably go 20. I would say probably 28 and 8 her rookie year. And if she does 28 and 8 her rookie year, she'll be in the MVP.
Nope, that was a Cubo.
Doing something else other than listening to this conversation. That's what I was doing.
Right.
That's exactly what I was doing. And yes, we are at the top of the hour. So before Jay starts to say anything else, that we would, just
why is it Jay? Why are you picking on me? Why are you singling me out? Damn, is it because I'm white?
Yes. Yes, it's because you're white.
That's exactly why.
There for a minute, I was thinking it was the beard.
Something. Anyways, we'll be back right after these commercial messages.
Maybe.
Stay tuned. I mean, you can see right now, without LeBron, Lakers are struggling.
Let me tell you about a team I hate, all right? I know the Dallas Cowboy fan is here, so I had to make sure he knew how much I hate this
Oh,
team.
I'm ready.
I've often said that the people who run baseball, they try very hard to ruin it.
I'm from Brooklyn. I don't have a problem saying it to his face. Oh, from Brooklyn. Hey, guess any.
Trisha's having a sleepover tonight. Can I go?
I wonder about Lucy's friends. What should I say? I know you're only 10, but one of these days a friend will offer you a drink. And alcohol at your age can lead to so many things. None of them good.
So can I go to the sleepover?
Lucy, I want you to promise me
I
something.
finished my homework.
Bigger promise. If there's any drinking, I want you to say, "No thanks, not my thing."
Mom.
I promise you, your real friends won't care. Deal?
Sure.
Really?
I promise, Mom.
They really do hear you.
Did you pack your toothbrush?
For tips on how to start the talk, visit underagedrinking.samhsa.gov, a public service message from the Substance Abuse and Mental Health Services Administration.
Sometimes, all you need to change your life is a sign. A sign that says, "Hank, this is the place you've been looking for." And sometimes that sign is an actual sign that's mounted to a building. One second, I'm looking at a sign. I know what you're thinking, and no, I don't love B-dubs just because I'm a buffalo with wings. Frankly, that's offensive and reductionist. Cause this place, come on. It's like they took beer and made it into a place and then gave that place sports and chicken wings. And the people, Cuba, the best. Oh! What the is going on, Marty? This isn't a game, this is trivia! Yeah, this place is kind of like heaven. You know, without needing to get hit by a bus. Let's go, sports bar!
Supporting the needs of our veterans. That's the goal of all of us at Team AmVets. Like Mitch, Carlos, and Kevin from our Welcome Home team that brings furniture to our vets.
We are Team AmVets.
Or Linda from our thrift stores who brings you great bargains every day.
I am Team AmVets.
And John, who picks up your thrift store donations that support California veterans programs.
I am Team AmVets.
Visit our website or Team AmVets thrift store to donate or shop today.
Join the team!
This is a presentation of Northeast Streaming Sports.
And we are back with the second hour of Coast to Coast, where we don't talk about the WNBA and other things that nobody cares about yet.
Hey, listen, I have no dog in the fight. They left Houston about 4 years into the damn program, so it is what it is.
Well, I mean, I guess in a different news front, Jaden Daniels and Malik Neighbors have a bet on who would be Rookie of the Year for $10,000, and being the NFL, they may not get a play and find out because they went on the air about it.
Both of them lose.
Exactly.
You know what's interesting to me about that though is usually when you're betting, right, you're betting against something. They're actually betting that they're going to do better than the other guy. I mean, they're actually trying to win. They're not trying to tank anything. They're not trying to. I mean, betting is still betting. I get that, but I'd probably go. I mean, I'm not going to go fully easy on them, but I'm going to go a little because they're actually betting who's going to be better. So they're going to be trying to win. They're going to be trying to do all the right things. Nobody wants to pay that.
Pete Rose bet on himself. He's like, what are we talking about?
I mean, you know what I'm saying? When you're betting on yourself, I don't know. To me, this doesn't seem as big of a thing as the other ones that have come out in terms of betting.
But the
But
NFL
again, betting is betting, so I get it too.
So using one trash can lad isn't as bad as using two?
Oh, there you go. Hey, see, you finally learned how to talk some comedy shit. Good job. You have now moved up to level 2. But no, I just feel like, I mean, betting is betting. I get it. So they got to make the stance, but I'm not riding this as hard as the other ones. I don't know about you guys, but I'm not riding this as hard as the other bettings that have been out there.
I mean, the thing is it doesn't matter what we think. It's whether or not the NFL, because it is betting on the NFL, which that could be a 1-year suspension like that.
The NFL should actually use this as a training moment.
Yeah.
If they were, and they probably will. I fully expect that these guys will not be suspended, but that they will definitely use this as a training moment for all players. Say, listen, this is what we're talking about. You cannot do this. End of story.
Yep.
We are going to let this one slide this one time. If you were caught doing as simple as this,
you
are going to be suspended.
Yep.
Man, if I'm Calvin Ridley, I'm calling horse shit. If I'm Calvin Ridley, I'm like, you suspended me for X number, a whole year for betting, and you're not suspending these guys? Oh, I found a class action lawsuit.
Yeah,
Where's my lawyer at?
That's why I think they will get suspended because you can't.
Where's my lawyer? I need to get my lawyer on the phone.
You can't sit there and say they're rookies and you're going to use them as an example when Calvin Ridley got suspended for a year and several players on the Lions got suspended last year.
Yep.
Man, where's my lawyer? Let me get that dude on speed dial.
They were suspending people for half the season, and it had nothing to do with football at all. They just happened to bet on premise.
Yeah.
Right. Like just on the premises of the facility. Yeah. So, I mean, there's no way they can get away without getting suspended at this point. Only
I would say what Pags is saying could have been used at the first get-go of the betting times, right? Even before Calvin, really, I think there was another one that did that same thing. They could have used that as a training moment. But once you start suspending people for betting, the training moment's over with. You lost that game because now you've literally. You can't do something to one person and not do it to the other person.
Rookies,
that's just going to happen.
Yeah, they're rookies. Yes.
Yeah. So in theory, that I bet you they haven't even signed their contract yet. So in theory, the NFL can't do anything at the moment. That's why I believe this will be a training because they've been drafted, but they have not signed. And because they have not signed, they are not part of an NFL team yet, which means that this is still outside of NFL jurisdiction.
But so they can be in the draft. So they can be in the draft, but not be in NFL jurisdiction. And make sense.
So all this is right now is they are property. Their rights are property of a team.
Right.
That's it. That's it.
But if you're property, then that means
they are not signed by the NFL yet.
Yeah, which means
they're not under
contract.
So this is where this is going to be. So I mean, if I'm a lawyer for the NFL and I decide to pity.
Well, no, that's not true. Malik Neighbors has signed his contract.
Well,
Malik Neighbors signed a 4-year, $29 million fully guaranteed contract that includes $18 million guaranteed with a signing bonus. Neighbors is the first and only first-round pick to have his contract signed.
There you go. So maybe he could get in trouble.
Yeah.
But the other one can't get in trouble yet because he's not under contract. And I guess it depends on who was the one that said it. If they both said it, then in theory,
so one of them said it and the other
agreed to it.
Yeah.
Agreed to it. I'll take that bet. Yeah.
So
that's usually how it works. One guy proposes, the other one accepts. And
no, that's not what I was saying at all, Jay. He was actually on a show and admitted to it. And then the other guy said, oh, yeah, he's not lying.
Yeah.
So no.
So it's out there. I mean, there's proof that there's an actual bet, not just speculation.
Yes.
Yeah.
Michael Penix has also signed his contract, apparently.
There you go.
Well, he got a good. I mean, honestly, Michael Penix wound up in a really good situation. If I was that guy, I'd be thankful for where I landed because, quite honestly, good O line, good team. Got a guy ahead of you. You know, you work past. He's only been there for a couple of years, and it's your go. I think you got a good spot. Making some money. I thought Michael Penix got a good spot.
Hey, I'd love to be the backup quarterback on a team and be there for 5 years without having to worry about playing.
You never know, man. That Achilles tear is a pretty significant tear. I mean, that's nothing to sneeze at. So to say that 5 years, yeah, it'd be great 5 years. With the way they pivot and turn and do what they do, I wouldn't be surprised if it's less than that.
I mean,
way less than that.
You know, if you can be that career backup, you can make some good money. You don't get hurt. You might still get some rings.
Right. I mean, the only downside for Penix is if he is, like you said, Bo, like you just stated, if he's trying to go for stats, if he's trying to go for those accolades, right, he will have a delayed start because what, 24 stat guy? I think you knew that. Yeah. I think you told me earlier it was 24. So by the time he hits the field, I think it'd be what, 26? He'll have maybe 6 competitive years in him, maybe 7, depending on how well he sustains himself.
By the time he hits the field, he might be 29.
Exactly.
He's 25. He'll be 25 when the season starts, and Cousins is on a 4-year deal.
Yeah.
But Bo, I think you even said, I think before in yesterday's show, I think maybe I'm talking about somebody else, but you know, whether you're riding the pine or not riding the pine, I mean, you're still making good money. I mean, he's in a good situation to make money, and then come out and play unless he's a stat chaser or trying to get those accolades, right?
He's never going to be he's never going to get the stats because he's not going to play long enough.
Well, and that's what I'm saying. That would be the only thing that would go against him. But
like he could try for like single season stats if that's what we're talking about, but career stats,
right.
There's no way.
Yeah. Yeah.
I did not hear about that, Robert. It wouldn't surprise me. It would not surprise me, but I don't think so. And Christmas falls on a what day this year?
I think it's Wednesday.
Well, yeah, definitely wouldn't be the case in that.
Yeah, Wednesday would be a tough day to have that.
Yeah.
What? Have what?
A doubleheader of football.
They would eliminate the Thursday night game that week, played on a Wednesday, and then
but how are you going to have 3 days of rest?
They play
no way.
The teams that are playing on Thursday are supposed to play Saturday, the week before, to get that 4 days of rest. So if there's a doubleheader scheduled for Christmas Day, the 4 teams that are supposed to be involved are supposed to be playing on Saturday. So essentially, you might have like 4 games on that Saturday with 4 of those teams going to Christmas Day. Then.
I don't think it happens. Wednesday, December 25th. Yeah, no way. No, they don't have that game. There's no way. Basketball owns Christmas.
Yeah.
At least this year. This year it owns. Yeah, they're not going to have Tuesday games either. So.
Yeah.
So next year. No, next year it goes back on a Sunday. Christmas is back on a Sunday.
I thought Wednesday sounded kind of strange to me. Christmas would be on a Wednesday.
Do you guys watch much college baseball at all?
No.
Only when the College World Series shows up.
Exactly.
Oh, damn, it is.
I don't know if you've seen this guy much, but what are your thoughts on Charlie Condon?
Who?
Charlie Condon, who's going to probably be he's going to be the number 1 pick in the draft this year. The guy at Georgia.
Condon.
Yeah, pretty much. The guy at Georgia is hitting a 459 with a 1673 OPS.
Damn.
33 homers, 69 RBIs in 47 games. He's already set the single season record for home runs in a season. He's already set the career record for home runs in a career. He hit a home run 534 feet the other day to dead center. And he's trying to get to 40 home runs before the NCAA tournament even starts.
Well, he's obviously, based on those stats that you just gave us, I mean, he's obviously a beast. So, yeah. Yeah, absolutely. What position did you say he played?
He's first base and DH.
Just need a first baseman bad too. Fuck, let's tank the hell out of this shit.
He is. Let me see.
We really do. I mean, we could use a first baseman of that caliber, man. That would be insane.
6'4", 238 pounds.
Yeah, he's a big boy.
No, 6'6". 6'6", 238 pounds.
Wow.
Well, 6'6". He may need to put on just a little bit more weight, but he's right in there, man. I mean, he's right up in there.
Started his career in Division III baseball, where he ended up hitting 7 home runs and drove in 68. Then transferred to Georgia and goes 25 and 67 and 34 and 71.
Jesus. Well, I'll tell you this much: whoever gets the first round next year, it's going to wind up with a hell of a first baseman.
I think it's the Guardians.
Is it the Guardians?
I think so.
Going to have a hell of a first baseman. I mean, if you're hitting the ball like that at the college level,
the Guardians. The Guardians get the number 1 pick.
Wow. Yeah, I mean, college and Major League Baseball are two different
Who's got
animals.
the number 2 pick?
Still.
Number 2. I just had to give me a second. I'll pull it back up. I just had it pulled up. The Reds have the number 2 pick. Number 3 is the Rockies. Number 4 is the A's. White Sox are 5, Royals 6, Cardinals 7, Angels 8, Pirates 9, Nationals 10, Cubs 14, Mariners 15, Astros 27. Or no, Phillies 27, Astros 28.
Yeah, that sounds about right. Yeah.
Well, because it goes 2 years, right?
For what?
Yeah, whatever your record is 2 years from now, that's where you.
No, it's they changed it. They changed it after the 2021 season. They changed it.
Well, they changed it too.
Now it's so they don't go by based off of the team with the worst record gets the number 1 pick. Now it actually goes into an actual draft lottery. Because the team that had the worst record was Oakland. So they would have been picking number 1, but they picked number 4.
Right, no, that's what I'm getting at. What I'm getting at is that they put those 11 teams or however many teams in the lottery, but ultimately you don't get, because the White Sox next year pick 11th.
They don't even have the draft order out for next year yet. They only do it 1 year at a time now. Because I believe the Guardians.
The MLB
How do you know? You already just said that they have the first pick in the draft. You know that.
The draft is in a month. The 2024 draft is in a month. So the draft order they have right now is based off of how they finished last year. Guardians were 81 and 81 last year. They weren't terrible. They should, record-wise, they would have been picking between 12 and 16. But because they didn't make the playoffs, they got put in the draft lottery, and they ended up getting number 1. And the teams that had the worst records were the Athletics, the Royals, the White Sox, and one other team, and all 4 of them had the same percentage chance to get that number 1 pick. And the only team that ended up landing in the top 5 was.
So it does still operate like the NBA lottery, where the worst.
No, it doesn't. It never used to.
It
never used to operate that way. They do that now because you used to have situations like when Houston was rebuilding and when the Pirates were rebuilding for 2 decades, where they would always have the worst record in the league, and they'd always be
right. But I'm saying now, though, it operates like as of current present day. It operates like the draft lottery, where the worst teams get the more picks, but you're still picks.
Yeah. So now it operates like the NBA, where the 14 teams that don't make the playoffs or whatever go into the draft lottery. The four worst teams have the same percentage to get that number 1 pick. The next 4 worst teams have the same percentage, and so on and so forth. I think Cleveland, out of all the teams in the lottery, Cleveland had the lowest percent chance to get the number 1 pick, and they got it.
Yeah. I mean, it just depends on when that ball comes out, what number it has on it. I mean, you have a good chance, but it doesn't guarantee you nothing, which is good. I mean, that's the way it should be to prevent tanking. So
I think that it's a crock of shit.
Why?
They put liquid in those balls. Make those balls heavier.
Do you really think that? You really believe that?
Well, they do it for the NHL.
Yeah, they do it for the NHL.
They put liquid
no
in
doubt
the ball?
in my mind about that.
Yeah, they do it for the NHL. And prime example was last year with Connor Bedard because the NHL wants Chicago to be successful because Chicago is an original six. They want the Blackhawks to be successful, so having the Blackhawks terrible is bad for the NHL. So how do you make it better? You put in a weighted ball. You get Connor Bedard to the Blackhawks, and now the white.
It's not making the NHL better. It's manipulating the system.
Yeah, and now the Blackhawks are picking number.
Bullshit. If that really is the case, if that's really what they're doing, then that's complete and total bullshit.
And now the
Blackhawks you're
you're
skewing it towards a team, and you're not being an unbiased league.
And now the Blackhawks are
really is what you're really saying is true.
Can you let him talk? God damn it, Jay! Shut the fuck up.
And now the Blackhawks are picking number 2 this year, so they're going to have probably the best goalie in the draft.
Nah, fuck that shit. Fuck you. Fuck this shit, man. Fuck you. Fuck you.
He bowed.
He'll be back.
I don't even know who. Do you guys even know who has the number 1 pick for the NHL draft
this year?
Yeah, I know the Blackhawks are picking number 2, so they're probably going to take the top ranked. Oh, San Jose Sharks is the number 1 pick.
Yeah, I was going to say San Jose. I thought took it this year.
So yeah, the Blackhawks are going to take probably the number 1 goalie with the number 2 pick now. So they got Connor Bedard last year. This year they're going to get the number 1 goalie.
Damn, he's like gone. He like left. He's angry.
Yep. He cashed out. No, it's funny. I've been getting some text like, "This is a weird show today," and they're not wrong. It's a weird show today.
No, it isn't. It sometimes, but he sometimes is good. Just let him talk for a second. Damn it. Such is life. See here. He even wrote me. Can you see the text?
Yeah, no, it's in the group text.
Yeah. Come back, Jay. Come back.
Man,
I'm sorry.
What a weird day. What a weird day.
It has been an interesting day.
It's a Friday.
That's what it exactly is. Is it a full moon too? Is it a full moon today?
I don't think so. Oh, on a side note, I was gonna let you guys know that are you guys okay to having certain baseball games streamed on your channel?
As long as it's not streaming the broadcast. Like if you're streaming yourself, we won't get in trouble. If you're
What if I get permission?
It won't matter.
Because I'm getting permission from the independent leagues.
So
they don't operate on Major League Baseball or minor league baseball rules. They're their own thing.
Here are the rules on that. You could show them. Yeah, you can show any baseball game we want to. Problem is that if nobody's reporting on it, ain't nobody gonna watch.
Well, that's what I'll be doing. I'll be reporting it, but that's what I'm saying. If I get permission to live stream the actual broadcast, are you guys good with it?
As long as the problem is if there is a perceived copyright, YouTube can still have an issue. Even with approval, because then you basically have to go and present this approval to YouTube. And if you end up with strikes that aren't corrected, it'll actually keep you from being able to get monetized. So it's a very fine line of what it is you can do. That's why I said, like, if it was your video that you're commentating on, you could definitely do that. If it's TV broadcast, that becomes a very weird scenario. It's possible to do, but there's a lot of hoops to jump through to not get in trouble.
Because the independent leagues don't. The independent leagues only stream online. They don't stream on TV. They don't stream anywhere else.
So in that scenario, you probably could do it.
Because I have permission from the Chicago Dogs and the Windy City Thunderbolts.
Okay. All right.
I'm trying to get the Schaumburg Boomers also because they're only like 20 minutes outside of Chicago.
Yeah, I mean, it's worth looking into for sure.
Independent baseball is a lot more exciting than I thought it was going to be when I went to the game the other day.
Well, I mean, probably a better game than my Mariners getting boat raced yesterday.
Well, hold on. What team is it? Give me a second to find it. There is the Charleston Dirty Birds out of Charleston, South Carolina. The Cubs actually just signed somebody from this team. That's why I was just curious to see who's all on that team. They got some good players that used to be, well, not good players, but former MLB players on that team. Clint Frazier from the Yankees is on that team. Phillip Ervin, who was an outfielder for the Rays and the Reds, is on that team. Delino DeShields Jr. is on that team. Like, there's some actual good talent in some of these indie ball teams.
Really? Are you seeing this? Yeah, that I got to deal with this, and that I got to. Not only am I producing this show, but I got to cater to some of the crying. Really? Get your ass back here, Jay. Get your ass back here. I don't want to hear it no more. Damn it. We are grown men here. We are grown men.
So I mean, Rob's idea here makes total sense. Hater show host versus host. Man.
But yeah, I don't know if there's any indie ball teams out by you, Bo, but I think Pegs, you have a couple by you that play up in the Appalachian League.
Actually, I think that the Atlantic City Thrashers may be independent league. Also, I believe that nobody owns the Delaware Blue Claws either.
Actually, hold on. I did actually pull something up before. Independent. So there's 74 teams that are in the independent league. There's 4 leagues that are technically owned, but they're not owned by Major League Baseball, but they operate under kind of the Major League Baseball guidelines. So you have the American Association, the Atlantic League, the Frontier League, and the Pioneer League are the ones that operate under the regular baseball rules type of thing. So the Pioneer League, Bo, the closest team to you would be Boise and Idaho Falls.
Okay, that's a hike. Yeah,
those would be the closest ones to you. There might be other teams in Washington somewhere, but they're not like on the main leagues. And then
I was gonna say, because our main like minor league teams are true minor league, like associated with MLB, which would be the Rainiers and the Aqua Sox.
Yeah, the Atlantic League is pretty much just all New York, like Southern Maryland Blue Crabs, Staten Island, Long Island, Lancaster, Pennsylvania's in there. Hagerstown, Pennsylvania's in the Atlantic League.
That's all far for me. The Atlantic League, well, the Thrashers are, you said, right? Atlantic City Thrashers?
No, they are not.
They're part of the Yankees?
No, yep, they're part of the Yankee system, yep.
How about the Delaware Blue Claws?
Delaware Blue Claws are part of something else.
Washington?
Maybe. I'm going down the list to see what else is here. Yeah, there's some independent baseball is actually, if you do have a chance to watch it, they sometimes do put games on MLB Network, especially during the All-Star week when there's nothing else going on, because that's usually one of the bigger weekends for independent ball. It's actually a lot more entertaining than I thought it was going to be, because there are several players now that have played in the MLB before that have had success, that are trying to get one more opportunity to land with an organization, or you have those players that may have not been drafted out of college, and instead of going to the minor leagues where they're going to be making $25,000, $30,000 a year, they sign with an independent team for $50,000, $60,000, so basically double the salary, and they kind of use that year as an audition tape for whoever wants them.
Sorry, guys. I'm in the middle of a text war here with Jay still.
No. I've been reading along. That's why I've been quiet. I'm just,
There he is. Good. Listen, if you're angry with me, talk to me face to face or screen to screen here.
I done told that. Look, I don't need this shit. I really don't need this. I'm here because I like to talk sports. I'm here because I think you guys are great people. But I'm going to sit here and watch you talk over me and then try to sit there and say, I'm doing it to you. No, look, you want to be a man? Be a fucking man and admit where you fucking fucked up. And you've talked over me too. So don't give me this fucking horse shit and then try to come at me like I'm the fucking one doing it. That's the real man shit. And if your ass was here in front of my face, I'd tell you that shit right to your fucking face. You're a fucking asshole. And you fucking sit there and said, I did this shit when you fucking did it to me too, asshole. And you did it right here on this show. So I'll tell you that shit right to your fucking face. And you too, Stat Guy. You want to call me a coward on the mother? If I was in your fucking face right now, I'd tell your ass that same shit.
I didn't even say shit.
You ain't been through what I've been through in my life. You ain't done the things I've done in my life to call me any fucking thing.
I didn't even say anything.
Now, you know what the fuck you said. That's a whole other conversation that me and you will have another day. I'm just trying to tell you, I'm here to talk sports. I'm not here to yell at somebody for doing something when I know they fucking did that same shit to fucking me. Come on, man. Call it fucking shit to be a man and call this shit what it is. Just call it what it is. And if you don't say and tell me you didn't talk over me, then you're fucking a liar. And I'll call it to your face. You're a liar if you say you didn't do it.
Well, I tell you what, I'm going to rewatch the show to see how many times I
this show. I'm not leaving this show. I like hanging out with you guys, but I'm not going to go through the bullshit.
Jay,
I'm gonna keep it real.
This is a show. This is a family-friendly show. We are friends with each other. Okay. This is part of what we do. I let you talk. I let you talk. Now you let me talk. Okay.
Well, you let me talk away. I'm gonna come back at you.
So it's okay for you to talk over everybody. And I just gave you your free moment. You told me to go fuck myself. And then I'm sitting here. I listened to it all. And now you want, as I start to talk, you want to talk over me again. That's what you're doing. Are you friggin' kidding me there, Jay? We are friends. We talk sports. Sometimes you like to go a little bit overboard and talk over everybody. That's what I'm talking about. You know what I mean? You do that on occasion. Sometimes I got to mute you because of it. You know, he was trying to say something 4 times. 4 times he restarted the same thing over and over again. Mm-hmm. And you came back out and started talking again. And that's why I said, shut the fuck up, Jay. I meant it as a joke. It wasn't meant to be up your ass. But when you come and attack me and tell me to go fuck myself, I'm going to go back at you.
The difference is when you were talking over me, I'd be quiet. And I was like, okay, let me just go ahead and be quiet. Because I'd already started the conversation, and then you talked over me, and then I said, all right, let me back up. I'll get up out of this. And then when you finished what you were saying, then I brought my same conversation back up. So at the end of the day, man, I'm just here to talk sports. Y'all want to yell at each other?
I love you, Jay. I love you. I love you.
I love you too, you son of a bitch.
All right. Sometimes brothers are going to fight. I get it.
The only reason I'm letting you say that shit is because you're better looking than me and I don't have a leg to stand on.
Well, that's
Bo looks better than all of us.
I tell you what. Yeah, shave that beard, and all of a sudden, we would see exactly what you look like. I don't know if I want to see that either.
I did it once with a wife, and she said, damn.
Wow.
It's okay, though. I don't mind looking ugly. I can look ugly all I want. Let's get back talking to some sports, man. Fuck. All right. First of all, Bo.
I mean, really, Rob is.
Hold on. Let me finish this real quick. Bo, I apologize.
You need a Snickers.
Bo, I apologize for my unprofessionalism. Stat Guy, I know you're not here. I apologize for my unprofessionalism. And Pags, I love you to death. You know I fucking love you. I apologize for my unprofessionalism. Robert, go fuck yourself. Everybody else go fuck. No, I'm kidding. I'm totally playing. I love everybody. Robert, I love you guys. I apologize to the viewer listeners that had to listen to my bullshit. I apologize.
Hey, listen, I think it made great radio. Shame we're on a podcast here. We could see it, but it made great radio.
Yeah, if nothing else, it's a good thing this isn't network TV because we would have had colored bars at this point in the conversation. But
I'm surprised that we haven't gotten shut off anywhere else either.
Yeah, right.
But let me ask you guys. on that point of conversation, back to sports related, and it is with sports related. Let me ask you guys this question, because I watch ESPN. You guys watch ESPN. We all watch ESPN. We watch the Pat McAfee show. I don't know if you guys, I'm sure you guys watch it. This guy is, he's a rebel. When it comes to everybody else, he is a rebel. He does his show the way he does it. He talks the way he wants to talk. He does what he wants to. Hell, even the damn panels do what they wanted. How does he get away with? No, I'm serious. If you watch the Pat McAfee show, you know what I'm talking about. How does he get away with doing what he's doing, but yet ESPN's not canceling him?
Well, they do limit his ability to drop the F-bomb for anything that's going to be on the network itself.
Right. But they give him
it's a minute. They give him a minute delay. Yeah, he operates off of a 1 minute delay now for network TV. That was the agreement that they came up with.
Okay. Yeah. Because I heard, when I watched the Pat McAfee show, I think it was a day or two ago, they let some words go, and I'm like,
yeah. I mean, you can say most things. You just can't drop F-bombs. That's still an FCC violation that they'll get you. But if you're on YouTube,
shit and ass and bitch are no longer on that list.
Correct.
You don't have it's no longer the 7 deadly words. You
still can't allowed to say on that show because he said some words tags that were on that list.
There's really only like 2 words at this, 3 words that you really can't say anymore. And they do steer kind of clear of them a little bit. And because it's on a delay, when they do drop them, they can mute them out. But if you're watching his podcast where it's simulcast on YouTube, stuff like that, it's still live. It's still all of that.
This was on my TV. This was on ESPN, Pat McAfee, and they let some very risque words go.
Well, I mean, if that's the case, then it's entirely possible that ESPN had a couple of fines that they ended up having to pay.
I mean, and I'm not trying to be controversial. I was just curious. I mean, because like I said, I've watched this show a couple of times, and I was just curious how all that worked out.
I mean, so
very controversial in this show.
We'll put it this way: if you drop an F-bomb on national TV, that is a $10,000 fine to the person that did it, and a $10,000 fine to the channel.
Yeah, I believe that. No, I really do. I 100% believe that.
So they tried to limit that.
Yeah, but does ESPN follow under those guidelines of the national thing, or are they like the rest of cable, where you're kind of your own thing?
So they are basic cable, so they still follow those lines. It's not like HBO.
Okay.
So that's a little bit different because those are specialty channels. They can get away with a little bit more.
Like ESPN Plus, they could say just about whatever they wanted to because that is a specialty channel.
Exactly. Their base ESPN channel is a normal FCC regulated channel. Yeah,
ESPN and ESPN2 are both considered regulated.
Correct.
What's interesting to me about all that is, what we were talking about, how things have changed in life, pro sports, whatever. You would think as we go longer in the tooth that they would relax some things, because let's be honest, I can go outside my house every day and you do, it's all around you. It's almost like it's like everyday common nature. I was surprised that, and maybe TV has to operate that certain kind of way, but it just seems to me like I'm surprised that they haven't evolved. And I think they have evolved, because I think even on some normal shows, I've heard the bitch word a few times, so maybe they have.
Bitch is no longer considered, like, same thing with ass. Yeah. I think you can't say asshole though. Interestingly enough, you're not allowed to say that word, but you could say ass. You could say bitch. You can't use cock. Explaining anything other than a rooster.
Right.
So I think it's like asshole, fuck, and cock.
Which is funny because those are probably. Well, no, I can see that though, because those are 3 words with the exception of cock, because you can refer that to a rooster.
You can't say dick either.
Yep.
God forbid if your name is Richard and you go by Dick.
You can use it in that instance.
Right.
Yeah.
As a name, as a real name, but not explaining anybody.
Correct.
You can't say stop being a dick.
Yeah.
So future podcasters of the world, use this show as your teaching tool.
Well, no, on a podcast you can say whatever
No,
you want.
I mean, like, no, seriously, because I mean that's good for people to know. Because quite honestly, I didn't know some of that. So
Yeah, no, if you're doing a podcast, if it's on YouTube, anything like that, where you'll get flagged on YouTube is if you use racial slurs, or if it's an insane amount of expletives and you didn't explicitly mark your video as not for kids.
Yeah, anything I have going live, I do not for kids.
Yeah, me too.
You can't because not for kids can't comment. There's no comments allowed actually on YouTube.
that makes sense. That makes total sense, actually. Let me ask you a question. Back to sports a little bit, though. I know it's kind of a hard segue after this crazy conversation, but back to sport. It really is, but curious, Pags. We were going back to last year, actually. When there was the issue in the locker room with the offense and the high, all of the rumors that came out of that. What are you expecting out of your Eagles this year coming forward? Can they get past all of that craziness of last year? And because we're not too far away from the season, as we get for preseason and stuff like that. What is your expectation for this Eagles team going forward? Like, will they get past it? What do you think?
Yeah, I think they get past it. I think they wind up. I got them in the NFC Championship game, only because I don't want to say that I got them going to the Super Bowl. I think that they do it. Just like I think that the Phillies make the final out of the Major League Baseball season.
Oh wow! Okay.
Yeah, that's
So
the Phillies. We have a parade for the Phillies. I can't guarantee that we'll have a parade for the Eagles, but
I don't know why you wouldn't. I mean, if they're making those kind of attributes, I'm sure you would. I mean, that's interesting, though. I mean, because you guys have that organization really, with the way they started and the way they finished was like night and day. And I'm just curious as to if can one off season really shift the magnitude of that team and get them back to where they were at the beginning, like they were last year.
Say that again.
So the magnitude of obviously what seems to have happened, and I'm not going to say it because I'm only speculating, but we know that there were some things that obviously went on between Antonio Brown and Jalen Hurts and so forth. The magnitude of where they went at the beginning of the season and where they finished at the end of the season. Are we really expecting one small offseason to cure all and get back to their winning ways?
Yeah. Bros before hoes. I don't know if you're allowed to say hoe either. But yeah, I think that's what really came down to. I think that they kissed and made up and they're back on course to what they needed to accomplish, what they were trying to accomplish initially. It's like, hey, you went to Super Bowl last year. We made it to the playoffs, even beyond ourselves. Like I said, in spite of ourselves, we still made it to the playoffs. I think that everything is back to normal and they do things the right way. And they, because winning solves all the problems.
Well, it's true. It does. But you got to win first. And that's why I think at some point there had to have been a meeting between the parties to reconcile this before they went into the offseason or got ready for the next regular season. Because there's no way they go into the regular season with those same issues just lingering in the locker room. There had to have been a lot of conversations between now and then.
Got ya. Well, I got to imagine there was. I mean, these guys were the best of friends. And then whatever occurred. And then, now A.J. Brown said he's going to retire as an Eagle. Jalen Hurts is, ready to start the season. I can't imagine that if there was still contention between them, that somebody wouldn't have put them in counseling or something like that to get them over it.
Right. Your defense went through some changes over the off seasons and stuff like that, or last season, off seasons. What do you expect out of your defense this year in terms of really more specifically your secondary? And obviously Fletcher Cox is not there. So how do you expect his replacement to play?
We got the white cornerback now. You guys are all fried. Yeah, when you got Casper the Friendly Ghost back there at corner,
yeah,
I expect interceptions all over the place.
I mean, I'm only asking these questions because, quite honestly, I mean, you're representing the East. A lot of Cowboys fans will tell you differently, but I'm a realistic person, and I look at things in a realistic way. And I know that the Cowboys aren't what they need to be to contend for the. I don't even know if we'll be able to contend for a wild card. I fully don't. I just don't think this is our year. I think that we've lost some things. We've tried to recover some things, but we just don't have what I think it takes to get to that next level, especially the playoffs. And I think you guys are going to be the representatives of the division. And that's why I was just curious as to how you expect you guys to play once you go into the playoffs and how far you expect. But you've already kind of speculated that you expect them to be in the Super Bowl. I mean, that's a lot considering that you got San Francisco across the bay. And you know
that's
what that
having
kind
a
of
hard
thing
time right now trying to figure out how to sign everybody, and then they're going to have to pay everybody. San Francisco's got one last window before everything blows up because they're going to lose players. They just
and is that
matter.
going to be enough to motivate them to get to the Super Bowl? I mean, will that be enough because of that?
I think that you're going to wind up seeing a real sophomore slump come from Mr. Irrelevant. And I think that that's a real thing.
Okay.
I think that he's not going to be as good as he was even last year. And I mean, let's face it. Last year, you had McCaffrey play all the games.
Mm-hmm.
You had everybody remain mostly healthy throughout the entire season. Mostly healthy. Obviously, Deebo Samuel got hurt for a little bit. Once they got hurt, once you lost Deebo Samuel or you lost McCaffrey, they went on a 3-game losing streak. So
let me ask you this though, but that's something very interesting that you said though. So you said that Brock Purdy, has hit his sophomore window. He played great season 1. Unfortunately, he got hurt, couldn't finish it out in the playoffs. Season 2, obviously he came short, couldn't finish the job, and Kansas City took the win. But you think in year 3 that he's just not going to have what he had in years 1 and 2?
I think that he's going to wind up winning the division over there because the West is soft. You got Seattle over there, who's not going to be very good because they got a rookie coach. You know what I mean? It's rare that a rookie coach can go to the playoffs. It's rare. Not impossible, but it's rare. And the fact that they have taken steps backwards in some of their personnel, I don't think that they're strong enough. I think Arizona stinks out loud. So
see, that's where I disagree with you on the Hawks. Like I do think that because the offense is by and large intact, and it was a good offense, right? It put up yards, put up numbers, despite the fact that there was a lot of injuries on the offensive line. The one thing they did do is revamp that entire defense. So if it can go from similar production on offense and say instead of being a bottom 2 defense, they're a middle of the road defense. Say they are 15th. That'll win you a couple games because you don't have to play hero ball the whole time. Now, I'm not saying they're winning their division. I don't think they do, but they can definitely contend for a wild card spot.
Question, Bo, on that. And I by the way, I definitely can see where you're coming from on that. My question to you is now Chase Young will have been in his second year with the 49ers. Bosa, hopefully, if he can stay healthy. If you get a healthy Bosa, healthy Chase Young, what are your expectations coming out of San Fran on the defensive side?
Yeah, the Niners still win the division. Do I think their defense is going to be as good as it was? Probably not. Their offense is still going to be solid. They have most of their pieces. This will be their last shot at it, right? Because next year they're going to have to start paying guys. This team's going to naturally start to dismantle itself. But if their window, when we talk about these Super Bowl windows, theirs is open for this year. Now, next year, that's a very different story. But this year, if the Niners are going to get it done with this group, this is their shot.
So are you speculating, and this really is to both of you guys, are y'all both speculating that do you think it will be San Francisco, Philadelphia, NFC showdown?
It definitely can be. The Eagles had a great offseason. Like they go into the draft.
They did. No, you're right. They did. They drafted well.
I mean, they immediately addressed issues that they had within that team. The Eagles are going to be a real problem. So could I see one more time of Niners Eagles in a championship game? I could see that.
Could you, and Pags, the question to you then would be based off of what Bo just said, and I like what you said, but I definitely agree with that. If it is the Niners and Eagles, and the Niners, like you said, are on the potential of blowing up the following year, they probably know that this is really their last potential shot with the team that they have if they're going to do something. Do you think that gives them a competitive edge over the Eagles psychologically?
No,
that's desperation.
Yeah. Well, desperation, but sometimes in desperation, though, that's when I feel like, especially, look, I can only speak from combat. And when you put somebody under pressure, that's what I've seen sometimes where that's when you see the best version of them. Now, there are people that do crack under pressure like that. But, you see sometimes the best version.
Let me address that school of thinking. So if you have desperation, or however it is you want to word it, for one game, absolutely you can do that. The problem is when you have that huge emotional win, 99% of the time, what happens to them next week? They're going home.
Because you spent so much emotionally. Is that what you're saying? Exactly. In that first game?
It's hard to keep that level week in and week out. Can you do it for a game? Yeah, everybody can get up for a game. You can rally all of that. Can you do that through an entire playoff system, series? No way. There's no way you're going to carry that level. Like if you're winning because of desperation, there's no way you're going to carry that intensity through 4 games based on something like that.
That's a good point. But let me ask you this. Based on them winning the division, what if they wind up with the best record? I'm not saying they will, but what if they wind up with the best record and they only got to play maybe 1 or 2 games? And maybe the first game is somewhat challenging, but then the big game would be against the Eagles if we think the Eagles are going to be there.
3 games. Best case scenario, you're still playing 3 games because you have the divisional game, the championship game, the Super Bowl. No matter what, you're playing 3.
Right. Well, that's true. Okay. But what if their biggest competition, because I really do think what Pags and the Eagles got going on over there is going to be their biggest competition. I don't know if the games leading up to that are going to be as taxing as what you're saying that they're going to have to go through. I think their biggest taxing game is going to be that Eagles showdown.
So the thing is the Niners aren't going to have the best record because the Seahawks are going to give them some trouble. The Rams are going to be better. And weirdly enough, Arizona has a potential to split with them because they picked every other pick in the draft. They had 40 picks, it felt like they were always on the clock. So, Arizona can come and sneak a win out. So I think this division might actually cannibalize that win record and you don't get the number 1 seed. So then you're playing 4 times. And if somebody can potentially dump the Niners in one of those first rounds, it could be a team like the Lions, or if another NFC West team sneaks in, right? You never want to see a divisional rival again in the playoffs because they know you better than everyone else. So, I wouldn't say it's a slam dunk for that opportunity to happen. But again, if you're trying to be elevated by desperation or anything like that, that's not a recipe for a long run in the playoffs.
Right. Let me ask you this, Pags. What do you think about this? Bo brought up, the Arizona Cardinals, and how they've drafted. And I thought they had a really solid draft. I thought they drafted well for what they had. And I really thought they get that added bonus. I thought they gave Kyler Murray, the guy that they probably got a number 1 for this guy. And if he really is their quarterback of the future or continuing to be the quarterback of the future, this is the telltale moment. Wouldn't you guys agree now that you've got the true, wide receiver 1 out there?
What, for Arizona?
Yeah. You got Marvin Harrison Jr., which we all know, the lineage he comes from. His dad has put wisdom into him all the way. And what he does on the field. All of this, he's got, I think, what I think is going to be a really, of course, the telltale when he actually goes on the field, but it looks in all sense he should have a really good wide receiver one to throw to. Is this a telltale year for Kyler Murray?
Well, I mean, I think they're going to be better than they were last year for sure. And he's going to need a season where he is putting something out there, right, to justify the contract that he got. But, yeah, I mean, he's going to be back from injury. The team should be better. He has some weapons. They shouldn't be the dumpster fire that they've been the last couple of seasons. Now, obviously, we got to see him put it together on the field. But, I mean, they're not going to be the worst team in the league by any means.
I know we're getting closer to the show, but Pax, I really want to hear your thoughts on this. Kyler Murray, is he on the clock now that he has Marvin Harrison Jr. as his wide receiver? Is he now, do you think he's officially on the clock in terms, and if he is on the clock, how many years do you think he had to really get this franchise before they cut ties from him?
This year.
Okay.
I think they're tired of his stuff already. I think they signed him to that contract and they put in there, hey, you got to study the playbook. And he's like, oh, that's ridiculous. Blah, 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 blah. And then they took it out and then he didn't study the playbook.
Yeah, exactly.
So I
mean, you're
think
right.
that they are, tired of him already. So
yeah,
if they could trade him, they would have traded him.
And did they bring in a running back though to complement Connors? If I'm not mistaken, I thought Arizona did.
I don't remember who all they drafted.
Yeah, or if
well, I thought it was somebody significant enough that would complement Connors, but
did they pick up Zeke Elliott? Oh no, he's not significant, and he's with the Cowboys.
Hey, and you're right, and I done said it. I have never gone back to an ex-girlfriend in my life, and the fact that the Cowboys are going back to an ex-girlfriend just makes me sad. Sad. That makes me sad because we gave got 110 million. Watch it. Think about it. You gave a guy 110 million. You told him to beat feet and go somewhere else, only then to ask him to come back. I mean, how crazy is that? It's crazy.
Well, I mean, you're still mostly paying him out anyway, right? His cap hit
I mean,
this year
I don't
anyway.
know. I mean, and that's another question. Maybe you guys, I know you guys know this cap stuff better than I do. How does that work? So the team assumed him, right? The Patriots assumed him. Does he then come back to that original contract, or is he? Because I thought he was on this new 1-year contract.
So the thing was his salary was distributed over. His guaranteed money was already gone, right? So he provides the cap hit that was going to be still on their books. They signed him. I think it was. I forget what they signed him to. It was way more than they should have.
Oh yeah.
I think it was like $8 million or something, but
I want to say it was 8.5.
Yeah, so that is added on to the cap hit that he already was incurring.
Right, because the cap hit had to do with the
previous contract.
Yeah, guaranteed money.
Exactly.
So, yeah.
So they're actually paying him a lot without actually paying him.
Right.
Like he'll get the 8.5 mil.
And Dak doesn't get 60 million this year. He gets nothing, or like not very much at all, but he still gets charged for the 60 million.
Yeah, I mean,
I'll tell you what, though.
But yeah.
And I certainly expects the big smile he had on his face when he was signing that second Dallas contract, almost like, here's some more money in my box, what?
And that gets us there.
Yeah, I was going to say, Paul, he's going to finish out his career as a defensive coordinator in Philadelphia. He's going to be here for like 4 or 5 years. If that's what he means, we're not going to need another one after next year. Yep. Just so that we're there. And we are up to the top of the hour where it was a lively show today.
Sure.
Not sure what about what, but it was lively. The full moon is out there. We must have had a lunar eclipse or something that happened.
Hey, on the plus side, the shorts are going to be awesome.
Yes. In fact, I'm wearing long pants today, so my shorts are not on. But
all I know is, hey, listen, I'm starting a GoFundMe account after this, and on the next show, I will reveal it, and hopefully y'all can help me out because I may be unemployed for a while.
No, exactly. He's starting to GoFundMe to start his own podcast so that he doesn't have anybody else talk over him. So.
Have a good one, everybody.
Everybody, have a great weekend, and we'll see you again on Monday. Take care.